So, you guys had gone into the Deeplands, the land where, well, some of you were brought against your own will, uh, but you joined up with the Ashen Table and decided to split into two groups, going into two paths, which had been shown to you by the Oracle in a dream. You guys decided to take the way of stone, embers, and dust, leading you to a group of Duragar, known as the Emergence. You followed a deep gnome by the name of Sin to the base of operations, which seems to be a tunnel of lava tubes, which are currently empty. There's no lava, fortunately.
Wait, currently?
Currently.
We just dig a hole the wrong place and then.
You need a diamond pickaxe first. After you briefly had a discussion as Ulan spoke with Luga Smokebeard, the assigned leader, a past general apparently of the king of the Duragars. You spoke, and with some hesitance, he allowed you to show your worthiness by having a scout at the citadel, being observed by Zerbin, the Duragar, which you guys had rescued from some giants in a previous scuffle. And I believe we left off you guys outside the doors, preparing for whatever it is you plan to do. Zerbis had came out with you, and you're left in this relatively small chamber with two guards who are standing by the doors, and several furniture, some rugs on the ground. Has simple decoration, but apart from that, you guys are by yourself.
Ulan is going to turn to Zerb and say, we probably have some discussing and planning to do before we head off.
We do.
Is there a space in here we can do that, or are we best heading out through the door and doing it in the...
Oh no, let's do it in here. If we have to discuss, let's go to one of the armories. Well, chambers where we keep weapons. It's not really an armory much. This way, I'll leave you there. And he begins heading, not down the stairs, but the opposite side, where there's another doorway. Well, more of a archway than anything.
Don't suppose this armory has a higher ceiling, does it?
Not really. We don't design these. We were lucky to get these in the first place.
So, did you find the place, or it's obviously carved out?
Yes, it was left here probably a decade ago. We used lava to cover up one of the drow entrances they had made. Poured lava in on. It was beautiful. Alright. And as you guys travel through the archway, there's several others you can see in the distance, all lit up by a candlelight or light stones.
First light we've seen in there.
It's not so much bright light, it's still quite dim. It's mostly so there's some colour to the environment.
It's spooky.
It is definitely spooky, as even though they're stones, similar light stones to you guys have, they're raw and still have a kind of flicker to them. So it's very similar to walking through like a crypt almost, but a natural one. From the walls haven't been fully mined. They're very rough still in their shape and texture. As you guys walk through, all of you can see, you do have glances down some of the hallways of other Duragars or deep gnomes that seem to be making this place their living quarters. That just notice you walking down as this group, which it's pretty hard for you guys not to make any noise. None of them come close. All of them keep pretty much to the maximum distance, just looking around corners at you guys as you walk through. You go through about 4 or 5 archways until finally you reach a similar chamber room, which dips downwards into almost a pit, with no light until Zerp touches one of the stones on the wall, which then lights up, illuminating the chamber a little more. Again, very candlelight, in both colour as well as vibrancy. And it's just filled of sharp, pointy things. Most of them crudely made, similar to the adamantine spears Savant and Senator made. All these are pretty much made from raw metals.
Savant looks disappointed.
Some of them, as you just gleam around, do look like they've been pilfered from somewhere. As there's an obvious difference in design.
Would someone be able to say that maybe it's the same place where the furniture is from?
There is definitely a sense there is familiarity, yes. And there's spears, swords, shields. There's some piles of armor in the corner as well. Hanging from the ceiling are several other implements, as well as what looks like the workings of siege machines, which have been dismantled and taken apart. You also see barrels off to the side as well, which Zerb takes one and kind of pushes it to the center and sits on it. I think we'll be good enough talking in here, don't you say?
I just don't touch anything, anyone.
Yeah.
Savant is already like hands out to like look at the armor pieces. Okay.
You don't want to be walking around with those just yet. No one's really gotten their given their gold piece on you guys just yet. No offense.
I understand. Hostility is what we expected to some degree.
If it wasn't for you guys helping me out, all of them would probably have killed you on sight, really. Well, at least run
You do
away.
seem a bit, if this is what you have in this quality, you seem a bit undersaturated in armament, if you say it like that.
What you trying to say?
Well, that we could help out in both the offense way, and I myself is, and he turns to Senator, and Senator is both myths. I know also that Saren dabbles in it.
I don't mind using him. You're kind of small. Just saying. Not sure you'll be much help to us. Just
Well, from my perspective, friend, you're quite small, so perhaps
Savant basically
fair point.
starts rummaging and takes out his shield and puts it to the ground. I made this.
You made this.
Yeah.
Great. What's that gonna do for me? Or us, really?
My company. Look at this, and he hands it to him.
He doesn't hold out his hands. Just like, are we talking about gear, or are we talking about how we're gonna get into the fortress?
My knowledge of everything
What?
does not have something to do with
turns back to Ulan. Is this what we're talking about?
Mm,
I'm just gonna wait for a second to see if Savant is still gonna keep trying to pitch the blacksmithing skills, or if he's done.
it takes a shield back. I'm just gonna say, we are. You've seen us fight, right?
Yeah, you're pretty good at it, actually.
So, on my pride of my profession, please don't offend my our fighting ability or my smithing ability.
I don't really care if you can smith or not. I want to know if you can help us.
Savant, let's focus on
What
one
I'm
thing
trying
at a
to
time.
say is
alright?
that your unrefined weapons, I may be able, if I can get some heat,
Savant,
I may be able to...
now is not the time. Alright? Once we've scouted out the Citadel and saved the world, then we'll worry about whether or not we're going to sort these people out with better weapons, alright? Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
One takes a couple steps back.
He kind of gives you a little grin. Well,
Does
then,
anybody else have any talents or products they'd like to try and flog to these people we've only just met, or shall we get onto the actual strategy planning now?
Well, they should dress better, but I don't think that's gonna be help.
God damn it, really. Right, this Citadel, aside from the army of golems, what kind of security and defenses can we expect?
He looks at the two dwarves. It's made by us. It's going to be one of the best things you've seen. We're pretty good at our making of things, especially there. The Black Thorn, that is quite adequately named, is a fortress citadel of quite a few floors. From last I was there, which was a while ago.
Sorry, when you say flaws, you mean like levels as opposed to like weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's important to know. Sorry, my dwarvish is a wee bit rusty.
There was 73 of them. Which is, well, adequate.
Well, which one will the king be located?
If he's where the throne room is, that's only a few floors down. 6 floors. Shouldn't be too hard if he's there. Problem being the forges, which I'm reckoning he's at, are further down. Around 30.
Alright, but what kind of security and defenses? Like patrols, checkpoints?
All I've seen recently are the golems standing watch. Haven't moved. They're standing around. Then there's several of the traps. Most of them pretty standard lavaful traps. As long as you don't step on anything, you shouldn't set them off. Big problem is getting to the Citadel. The only way across to it is across several bridges, which span across the chasm.
Could we climb down into the chasm
go across the floor of the cavern and back up? Or is that suicide?
Don't actually know what's at the bottom. Just goes.
What's at the top?
This. The D-plans.
Aye, but does the citadel touch the top of whatever chamber it's in, or is there?
Oh, the Citadel. Right. Well, it does go up a few more floors itself. 3. Ends at the top with a sentry post. There would have been ballista up there, but I haven't seen them since we left, so I imagine they're either dismantled or replaced by something.
So the Duragar military has been phased out in favor of these golems.
That's what it seems to be, yes.
Right, and what can you tell us about the golems? Like how well do they see? How fast do they move? How tough are they to take down?
Well, we've seen 2 types. These clay ones, which seem to be the fastest. Pretty terrifying, really. Don't even have much of a form. More ooze-like, but has some shape. Not really that strong, per se, but they do like binding things. I've had several of ours suffocated.
Oh right, okay.
The stone ones are the tougher ones. Most weapons don't really do much to them. Neither does much fire. The only thing that seems to really work against them is, well, thunder. Shattering. Cracking. Brute force. Less of slashing. They are slow, though, which gives us the chance to move away. Don't want to get punched by one, though. I've seen several stalagmites being taken down. Scariest thing, though, is they have, I would call it a warning system. But it doesn't set off anything inside the Citadel. It sets something outside the Citadel. Yeah, remember what I talked about, that worm?
Aye.
Yeah.
So there's a warning system that summons the worm.
Pretty much. It's a type of tremor they set off using some type of device. Causes a vibration through the ground. Seems to be its core. Brings it as a kind of deterrence. We just call it the Black Beast. That's all we get to see of it, really.
And do you know how this warning system is triggered?
Aye, from one of the front posts. It's pretty high up, but it's attached to the main gate bridge that goes across to the Citadel. Like a gatehouse. It keeps watch, and if someone comes close, they set it off.
And is it a Duragar setting it off or a golem?
Not sure. It's kind of covered up. I imagine it is.
And presumably the Citadel is safe from the worm, so they just let it take care of whatever's outside the walls.
That's the beauty of being inside a chasm. No walls for the worm to get to it.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Alright,
So unless you guys can fly, the only way is across the bridge.
well, some of us can-ish, but not
Really?
all of us.
That'd be great.
I'm really good at jumping, so I mean,
Can you jump 200 feet?
yeah.
Question: where's the gliders? Is there still in a portable hall?
I was thinking,
The gliders is a good question.
I think we never took them out again, did we?
yeah, they're probably in the portable hall, yeah.
Yeah, because Ro or John Goblin have carried them. So yeah, you probably have them.
We also have stuff that could help us to glide down.
Down doesn't really get you anywhere. There are several bridges down there, so if you can land on one of them, that might help. But the lower doesn't really get us anywhere, apart from darkness.
Well, you said the king would like be some way down, right? So, if that's who we're trying to get to, then more of the citadel that we can skip on the way to battle.
True. Well, there's a bridge every 20 floors, so if we can get onto the second or third bridge, that'd be adequate.
What do the bridges lead to?
Mining.
Are they connected? Mining. All right.
Mining tunnels.
Is there a way? Is there a way of accessing the mining tunnels
Oh no,
without
they haven't.
going past the moon?
They're not connected to the surface. That was also the beauty. They're only connected to the tunnels through the bridges, and from them, the citadel. Can't get anywhere else.
Bridges guarded as well as the ones up here.
Sorry?
Are the lower bridges guarded as well as the ones up here?
Doubtful. Unless falling that way down is pretty impossible for most things around here. There's probably a few on the gate into the citadel, but that's about it. It's not really watched much.
Are the how's the door? Are expected to be a door at least to the bridges, right?
A gate, yes.
Is it
All of them
unlocked,
are
how
usually
many?
iron bars.
Would you know how to unlock it?
It's iron bars. There is no lock.
Well, a lever or something to take a mechanism.
Yeah, on the other side.
Okay. Where on the other side? How far?
Probably around. You'd be attached to the room next to it, so not that far, I imagine.
If more, you're able to go misty and stuff, right? Like, I've seen
Yeah.
you. Do you think you might be able to do that passing bars?
I don't see why not. So that is a plan.
Who works the mines?
Well, we did. Although there's probably a few still in there.
So it's Duragar, not anything else.
Well, mostly deep gnomes. They were the ones to put in the mines.
Right.
But there's probably some still there.
And are they trapped there or free will?
Are they what?
Are they trapped in the mines? Like they can't leave because of pressure?
Well, yes. The only way through is across the bridge, as I said. And They would know if they started digging up.
So the question is, would they be useful in maybe a future, if something were to happen, if our suspicions are true, would they be of any use, do you think, to maybe attack the citadel of some sort?
Excuse me?
He means if we free them, will they rise up? And
Are
attack?
you suggesting using civilians?
No, only the willing, but I'm asking, do you think they would be some bit willing?
We don't use civilians. No.
I think what's possible is we may be suffering from a cultural difference between the deep lands and the surface here.
I'm sure.
If we were talking about a citadel on the surface and there were people in the mines, they would not like to stay that way. And they would be predisposed to revolting against oppressive rule if the opportunity was presented to them. I think what Savant is suggesting is that perhaps there's a possibility that the civilians in the mine, even if they are civilians, might be as displeased with the king as you are.
Oh, they sure are.
The thing is, for the surface, if you're suffering from oppression, it doesn't matter if you're a civilian or not. Everyone who wants freedom has the right and the obligation to fight for it.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Do you have weapons? Because that's usually important.
Well,
Mining tools be quite nasty in the right hand.
You think they give them important stuff?
Would you like a pick to the face?
The picks there aren't that great.
Any kind of item can be an effective weapon if you know what you're doing with it.
With a gnome?
And if they've been working in the mines long enough, I'm pretty sure they know how to swing a pick. But we'll jump off that bridge when we come to it. That's not
That's another thing.
We're not planning an uprising here. We're scouting out the citadel because the world might be ending. So let's keep our heads focused on that for now.
Yes, you were talking about that.
Just as a heads up, if you give me time to prepare, I can create a passage in stone.
Oh, really?
We have to get through somewhere.
How much of a passage?
It won't be big, it will be around 5 feet, and the wall can only be thicker than 5.
That's about the size of a wall. That's about it.
So you can make a hole in the wall. When you say time to prepare, do you mean like not today? Or do you mean it's like a ritual?
I don't have that right now prepared.
Right. Well, for now, we should scout and then. I mean, that would be useful, but
We should.
we don't know enough of what's going on to know if we have time to wait at this point. So I presume if there's this bridge with the early warning system, there's one way to the citadel and one way back, and that's it.
Pretty much, if you're going by standard means, yes.
So there's no way to just get around a different side and have a look and like see from a distance.
Apart from just seeing that it's a citadel, you can't see the inside any other way.
Well, but like at this point, all we have to go on for the citadel situation is the description that you're providing. Once we're there and we can see things, there's a possibility that we'll notice stuff that triggers ideas based on our abilities that you can't possibly know to provide the information on.
We can get close, as long as we stay away from the main gate that they don't see us. The chasm's huge.
Alright. Well, is there anything else that we need to ask? I mean, these golems. What are there any weapons that are more effective against them than others?
As I said, anything that can hit him hard.
You said bludgeoning against the stone ones. But I mean, are our feeble surface weapons going to be a problem, or?
We'll see.
Great, that's good to know.
That's the fun part.
Right.
Oh, as a note, the clay ones don't care. Either way.
It's just the stone ones that don't give a crap about slashing stuff. So, Ithelmo, do you still have that hammer of yours?
I think so. Let me just check.
The reckoning was with Seneca.
Mm-hmm.
What?
The reckoning hammer is with Sandra.
Oh no, I mean like way back ages ago, Ithelmo used to have a hammer.
Yeah, he used to use hammer.
Yeah.
It's in the hole, I think.
Huh. I even don't remember that.
Holding, is it? Okay.
Wow.
Like, immediately when he got the short sword, he switched it out. I remember.
Yeah.
Well, if that's everything, I'm gonna get some rest, and, right, you guys need a place. Yeah, well, how about here? It's big enough, keeps you out of the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Stay in here for a bit. We can go in a couple hours. You guys can see it for yourselves.
Alright, we'll stay here with the rest of the deadly weapons.
Sounds lovely.
Unless there's anything else, anyone?
Kind of hops off. No? Alright then. See you in a couple hours. And strolls back up the makeshift stairs and heads out. Leaving you all guys alone.
Ulan and the rest. What I was trying to say is, when it finally comes to it, as he also said with the pickaxes, we can't have them go around with weapons that may break if they go in combat.
Oh, I completely understand that, but we're not trying to start a war here. We're literally going to look and see what's going on. Like, absolutely, your blacksmithing skills may well be invaluable later on, but we know nothing. And there's no point making plans or even contemplating plans of that sort until we know more than fuck all. So I didn't want to derail us getting into that kind of business with somebody whose patience is very short.
That's very true. Sorry, I get very heated about people.
It's completely fine. Seriously.
Saren and
completely
Synergen nod.
understand. He was bad-mouthing your blacksmithing skills, and that's a mistake. But rather than arguing with him, just shoot something in the face in front of him and see what he thinks of your blacksmithing skills then.
About the shooting part, I will. It will be difficult for me to use my firearms in there as it's still a stealth mission. which means I need to use the crossbow as it takes out the crossbow.
Well, that's a solid point. How are we looking as a group on bludgeoning weapons? I mean,
Senator holds out his hammers.
I
think I've got him covered.
alright. No, but I mean, if they're more primarily used as a sword, do we have alternatives, or do we just need to be like, Senegir and I'll handle the stone ones, and you can focus on anything that's clay?
The closest I think I have to a bashing weapon is my shield. I don't think I'm strong enough to bash in some stone giant skull with a shield.
I think from what he said, we should do it the other way around.
What, you mean us to face the clay ones?
Well, he seems like the stone one only deals with bludgeoning, so...
Wait. Are you gonna need to clarify that OOC? Like, the stone one was impervious to slashing, is what you said.
It seems to have less effectiveness against piercing and slashing. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it means
the
I'm
people
useless against it.
the people who have bludgeoning need to go against the stone ones,
Which would be Senator.
and me, which
And
is
you,
what I
technically.
just said. And you said no, we should do the opposite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Savant and you.
No. Senegir and Heidi, by the way.
Welcome.
Hello.
In fact, should we just rewind a couple of minutes, because the dude's literally left and D might have something to ask, being all dwarf and knowledgeable.
Alright. He's walking up the stairs. Do you have any other questions?
Just to catch you up, D, we've been chatting with the dude about the Citadel. It's in the middle of a chasm. It's connected to everything else by bridges. There is a bridge. There is a bridge with an early warning system, which is basically a thumper, and it will summon a giant worm. I know you know what I mean. There are lower bridges that connect into mining tunnels, but they aren't accessible from up here. They only lead to the mining tunnels. We've talked about hang gliding down and accessing through one of the lower tunnels, one of the lower bridges. Yeah, we have to be wary of like what's looking and stuff. The army consists of clay golems, which are really fast and do a lot of, sounds like, grapples and suffocation, and then stone golems, which are immune to slashing damage. So, do you have anything bludgeoning?
No, but I could just use the flat of my axe. Right? You can do that to do bludgeoning as opposed to slashing.
Can you?
It's kind of ineffective that way, but
Okay, if that, then no.
I guess, like, yeah, it's a flat surface.
It would do less damage though, because it's a pressure thing.
Yeah, I might just minus damage or something.
You can always bash them in with a shield. That's the closest thing someone's getting to that.
Yeah, I don't have. I'm not
Okay,
getting.
so we probably want you dealing with the clay ones.
Yeah.
Because bludgeoning is basically me and Seneca. So.
Yep.
At this point.
I can whack them with a staff.
This is true.
Yeah, that's.
Would
yeah, that's not me then.
someone like to borrow my staff? Because it would be useful to smash things with, but when it comes to smashing things, my fists are as good as anything else. But
Yeah, your stuff doesn't need to be attuned, so anyone can technically use it, right? So, yes.
okay, nobody wants to use it. That's great.
Well, I'm
No,
not
I
very
just-
effective with it. And it,
Yeah.
I don't know if Sam can use quartz staff.
Well, it's a simple weapon,
Oh, it's
so
a simple weapon.
yeah, everyone can technically
Anyone-
use simple
anyone
weapons. So
can use it in theory. Yeah.
yeah, no, everyone can use simple weapons.
It's probably. I'll just smash some doors. You guys just focus on the other ones.
Yes, as you guys spend a couple hours talking about this and what types of plans you're going to come up with, I don't think any of you use spell slots, so it's not that bad.
As a comment, I'm not preparing Thunderwave, which
Oh,
is...
I was going to say. That's
Yeah,
fun.
no, and as...
Wait, you're not preparing Thunderwave.
It's loud as fuck, just saying.
It will be heard in the entire.
True, but if we're in a situation where we need to use Thunderwave to kill a stone golem, we're probably like fucked anyway.
I have the chromatic orb, which I can set to do thunder damage. So,
Okay. Because he did say that was effective.
yes, he did.
And the difference is that Thunderwave is a level 1 spell.
They both are.
Oh, they both level 1. Okay.
Yeah, they're both.
Fair enough.
So,
It's just that
Thunder-
one's a cone. Well,
Yeah, Thunderwave, it's a cube. Thunderwave is a AoE where
Yeah.
the other one requires me to roll attack rolls.
we know what
Okay.
those are. No.
Well, your attack rolls are fine, it's the damage rolls that are the problem.
It's actually the other way around now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And,
For some reason it
does
has
more damage.
changed.
And it does one die more damage, so yeah, chromatic's better technically.
Okay.
Well, it is one target, so it kind of makes sense that it. I don't think I have any other thunders. Nope.
You don't have shatter, I'm pretty sure.
Yep,
Because that will be useful.
I know.
And you don't have
Yeah.
storm sphere.
Yeah, I actually do.
Oh, you do.
I'm just gonna say this now, before Mimsa reminds us all later. We do have a rock,
Oh.
so we could fly to the citadel that way.
Oh, that's
Because
cool.
we always keep forgetting.
Yes, we do.
So if needs be, yeah, we can. Even if we probably do have the hang gliders, but even if we don't, we've technically got some options.
Yeah. And he said it's about 200 feet for the bridge towards the citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people do bludgeoning and lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Does it
Bludgeoning's...
do nice?
Well, no, but it deafens everything inside,
It is
which is interesting.
a 20-foot sphere.
Radius.
Yeah, radius
So
sphere.
40-foot sphere.
Yeah. Important difference. Double the size.
And diameter, yes. 20 radius sphere. 20 feet radius sphere. If you have to be that picky about it.
It's a 20-foot radial sphere.
I have
As opposed to a
lightning,
non-radial sphere.
You know, it's rare square spheres.
You have to use radial instead of radius, I guess, because radius is circle.
No, radius is like a sphere as well.
Yeah,
Because if you're calculating the volume of a sphere,
Yeah, that is-
it's 4 pi cubed.
that
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you say it.
that is
Oh,
the
so-
basically circle ones. There is also the columns.
The cylinders.
Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
That's also in radius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there
It's
isn't many
because
spells.
You have to pick basically, you have to pick a spot, and then from that spot.
Yeah,
It goes-
it's basically everything within 20 feet of that point is what they're
Right.
saying,
Yeah,
really,
it
Yeah.
makes it easier to actually pick a spot than
So-
actually have to figure out how big the thing actually is and where you want
Yeah,
to
it's
place
easier to
it.
think in 2D than 3D entire time.
Is there anything you guys are gonna try and clarify, or do you want to just time skip? So when you guys
How
leave,
much time are we having?
not enough for a long rest. It'll be enough for a short rest.
Right. So it's not enough to prepare different spells or anything.
Well, isn't technically Mims the only one that gets changed in a short rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it still takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a short rest.
I was thinking more of like the stone shape or whatever.
Yeah.
Which really needs a whole long rest.
We're just being left in here with all the weapons.
Pretty
So-
much.
Yeah, with all the shitty weapons.
There's a few decent ones, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not get the part with the weapon things that people don't want to take or want to take. Or were you asking about magical? Who
What?
got magical
What?
weapons?
What?
What are you referencing here?
Yeah, he's asking D about what kind of weapons he has.
I was asking Dee if she had anything bludgeoning, because the stone golems are resistant to slashing damage and piercing. So
Okay.
I was asking if anybody who didn't have a bludgeoning weapon wanted a bludgeoning weapon, but we'll just make do with what we got.
As you realize, all the weapons there are piercing, pretty much, and slashing.
Yeah.
I got my spells, but I do have my staff that does bludgeoning.
Hit him with the staff.
Yep.
Hey, it worked last time.
Yeah. No. Not 20.
Critically, too, I might add.
Hey, I was angry. I
Yes,
pissed.
you were.
Sorry, Owen, are you asking if anybody in this group is charismatic?
That is a funny question.
Have you
No.
met this group? Yeah.
No, I was saying, is anyone could anyone pull off if we strike the weapons, play off and send them back without them?
I don't think any of you guys have deception.
Of course I can. Look
I
at
have
this.
that. So I'm not think I have deception.
Maybe
No,
what we do is just put a bucket on their head while we
You only have-
fight them. And they won't
you only have perspiration.
To be fair, I do get advantage against dwarves, so as long as they don't send a deep gnome to interrogate us, we're fine.
I know about it, so.
Now you could do it.
Also, why would they want to buy these crappy weapons? Which do piercing damage. They don't want piercing damage.
I have one thing though, health potion, because
What about?
Yes.
I actually don't have one. I realized last time where, oh, I need to save Savant. Oh, I don't have any health potions. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's
Took
that's
the one I had.
because you went off on your own and then got killed and had to use it. I think I have something, but
Someone has a few potions.
I have two.
It's just
fucked up
asking.
the list.
After the one.
Yeah, hang on. It's gonna take me a while to scroll through my entire list. 'Cause it fucked
The
everything
thing
up.
is-
I've got some potions.
Yeah, we
Oh,
might
I-
want to
oh.
save them too.
Yeah,
I'll
I
see
think
if
I
I'm
had
out.
some extra.
Don't bother with wasting your turns on pouring potions on people.
It's more so
Yeah.
more if you wanna.
Oh no, I've literally.
Well,
only got
I
one
could
potion
actually
per
die.
game.
That's the thing. Because I was at 2 wounds and I was after her. So
And it's. Well, he tends to just heal people when they're down, and then we get them. So.
yeah,
Get up to
in
get
that
down.
situation, you actually needed to heal me because otherwise I would die.
In this time while we're sitting here, I would like to attempt to cast Shield of Faith on.
You're doing
my
that again?
races
Sure, go for it. Do another Arcana check.
Yeah, this is the second of 5 charges from my ring.
I think this is the third one you've done now.
No, the first one that I didn't do from the ring because I hadn't.
Oh no, I mean how many times have you done it into the
Oh
bracelets?
yeah, this is my third attempt.
Yeah.
Arcana, come on, +0.
Ooh,
That's not
19.
bad.
Yeah. It definitely holds for the duration, and then fades again.
Okay. This may not be doing anything at all.
Well,
Hey,
Hey,
hold on,
we-
what are you doing?
Also, don't forget we do have the potion of invulnerability.
You have a lot of
and
potions.
vitality. Yeah. No, I was just looking in the duffel bag. Because I thought we had. Did we not have? No, we don't have healing potions in there.
Do I recognize the spell when I was casting?
Yeah, like totally. Like,
Hey, hold on, do you want me to try?
Yeah, sure. Have a go. I'm just trying to wake him up.
Wait,
Make him work
we're not
again.
having long rest after this, right?
no.
I don't know. Don't worry about it. I can do it plenty of times. I've got a magic ring full of them.
Does it? I do have that spell in a thing that seems like it might be a little off. The item he's using. And that is not as it's fully strength.
oh,
Something.
you definitely know he's doing something to his braces. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know my braces got fucked up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
Hmm.
withheld that information.
Yeah, no, I think we actually talked about it technically.
Do you want me to inspect it if it's cracked?
Yeah,
somehow?
if
I thought
If-
we'd already done that stuff.
No, we never. I never took on. We never inspected it like on a
I'm
physical
pretty
level,
sure I
only on
gave
medical.
them to Seraphina.
Yeah,
and
Seraphina
she
had
was
detect
just like,
magic.
yeah, the magic
Yeah.
is gone.
Yeah, we have detected magic. That have we done. We've never physically inspected them. technically.
Wow.
Yeah, I-
Ulan, you've been looking at him, and
Yeah.
with the Arcana check, yeah, like there's still the rune pattern across it, signifying that it had an enchantment on it, and it's got the glyph still across it. It just has no magic currently in it.
But I know a way for no other way to. Yeah, I would probably know. Of
Oh yeah,
getting a
definitely. You don't even need to roll.
magic,
Like, yeah, you know enchanting is a thing.
Can Savant make a knowledge check on
enchanting
enchantment?
in a way by we awakening the magic again, or do you have to re?
That you can do a check on.
Can Savant also try?
Yeah, you know about enchanting.
Yay!
Yeah, well, definitely Seraphina's had experience definitely enchanting. For one, you've done a stone, a magicite stone, all by yourself. You also have seen and carry some on you. There is very few cases that you've had to reignite an item. You have to pretty much, after something's been dispelled, re-imbue it. Which, depending on how powerful the magic, can take several weeks to possibly, yeah, in some higher level cases.
Whereas, do you need to have the spell to be able to do that?
Usually, any enchantment is correlating to a certain type of spell. There's few cases where you have to create a spell to do it. Most of them have a connection. For example, any freezing item has a frost spell enchanted into it. Usually, a small cantrip is put into a freezing stone, like a cooler. A cooler has a magicite stone with frostbite in it.
Would Seraphina know how long it would take based on like a level? If you're saying she knows some high
Yeah,
levels.
it'd be for like a level 1, level 2, between 2 to 3, 4 weeks.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just keep doing it. No big deal.
Yeah, you rolled a 26. Like, yeah, you definitely know.
Keep on keeping up.
And yeah, it's like there's a whole commerce in wizards using their magics to enchant things for people specifically.
Yeah, the thing is,
Enchantment.
though, it's
So when
Shield
you
of
say-
Fate, which is not a wizard spell.
No. So when you say for the duration, you mean like the duration of the spell? So it lasted for like 10 minutes or an hour or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Okay. How is it 10 minutes or is it an hour? Hang on.
I think yours is 10 minutes. Shield of Faith.
I think so as well.
It is up to
Uh,
10 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I
In
know
that
my
case-
spells.
In that case,
It's the first level.
I'll do it 2 more times, please.
Alright, yeah. Yeah.
Do you want a separate-
No, you use the 19, so you've seen the same reaction happening.
Okay.
Because it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at this point now.
Would I be able to help Ulan by basically I know and then guide him ish?
He seems to have an understanding of what to do. It's more. This is the first time he's doing it, so it's like you put magic into the bracelets, it does something.
Is there any noticeable change after having done it like 3 times? Well, 5 times total now.
Not really. No.
Okay, so there's not like a tiny lingering hum of magic.
From what you can tell, not really at this point.
My
Mm.
my ring is empty now. I don't know. Like it holds a spell. Well, it holds like some spells. I don't know if there's anything that it might be useful for me to have in my ring to punch things with.
Seraphina technically could put something in.
Hey,
As you guys are having a short rest. Like,
just thinking out loud.
you can cast, what is it, 3rd or 4th spells you get back
It's
on a short rest.
It's a maximum of 3rd level, but it can hold up to 5 levels worth of spells.
And
So I can
Seraphina
have, like, a
gets
3 in, 2
3rd
or 3 in, 1.
when you take a short rest. Mimsa? Mimsa?
Oh, yes, I can recover 5 levels of.
So, yeah.
But I haven't used any spells since our last long rest.
So if you put one into the stone.
You could
Don't
cast
even-
it into the ring and then recover it while we're short resting.
Well, I can wait to do that. It was max 3rd level.
Yeah,
the
max 3rd level in the ring. Yeah.
ring-
And it can hold up to 5 in total, so it can hold like a 3 and a 2 or a 3 and 2 ones.
Yeah, that works
yeah.
the same way as I can recover.
Yeah.
So the question is, what of the spells do you want to?
Well, I don't know what you have that might be useful.
What have you got?
I have prepared Burning Hands, Chromatic Orb, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Dark Vision, Invisibility, Scorching Ray, my Snowball Swarm, and then Dispel Magic, Counterspell, and Fireball. That's what I have prepared right now. I can always put one spell in, and then we can figure out what you otherwise would have in for next time.
How, like hypothetically speaking,
Hypothetically.
how many first level spells could you put in
5.
one go?
Oh.
No, like how many first level spells do you have?
4.
4. Okay.
I won't get any more spell slots for first.
Okay.
That would be cheating.
Okay. I'm just trying to think because the chromatic orb thing obviously does the thunder damage, so the more of those we have, that could be useful.
Yes.
But would that be noisy like a thunder wave?
It doesn't say noise, so
There's
no.
still going to be some type of crackle. It's not going to be as loud as the thunder wave, as it's described.
Yeah.
But it's still going to have a crackle of thunder.
Yeah, but that was
Um,
would probably
which
be
of those
contained to
were-
the area.
Which of those were level 2s and which were level 3s?
The only level 2s I think was invisibility, dark vision, and
Scorching Ray and the
Scorching Ray.
snowballs.
You know what's stealthy? A magical swarm of snowballs.
I
mean,
always find it funny.
that is fun. I know which Ulan would pick under normal circumstances, but
he's being leader mode.
I feel like an extra invisibility, which is 2nd, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like an extra invisibility would be handy as like a backup.
That would be a counter spell.
Was counterspell one of them?
3rd level.
Yeah, that's the first
Well, you
level,
could do
but it's prepared.
counterspell and
Could you Like, so do
Invisibility.
you have counterspell prepared?
Yep.
So if we put counterspell and invisibility in there, that's the 5 levels, and then you would get that back over the short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, if need be, I can make extra people invisible. Like, if you've already used it once, I can use it again to get us out. And if there's an emergency counterspell situation, I can just like...
Well, you can use it on one person. But
Yeah.
Oh, is that only one
Yeah.
person?
Yeah, I use it at
Okay.
high levels too.
Ah,
more
but
people.
yeah. Okay. Well, invisibility, like, might be useful anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Unless, alternatively, counterspell and then 2 first levels is the alternative. Like 2 chromatic orbs of thunder.
Or you can pick the damage type. Or chromatic orb.
Can I pick what? Can I pick it when I cast it
Yes.
from the ring? Okay. In that case, then yeah, maybe like counterspell and 2. My brain is going chromatic balls in my head. Just 2 of them.
Well, it's
yeah.
technically the same-ish shape, so...
Yeah,
there
chromatic
you go.
balls. Yeah, so a counterspell and 2 chromatic balls. There we go. That sounds sensible.
Enough.
I could give you a cure wounds if you want.
Do you get
Would
the
you-
stuff back?
He doesn't.
Like seriously, I was considering once I'd used up all of the charges, giving you the ring anyway, so that you can like charge it up with extra healing. But it's an attunement thing, so I don't know if you have enough spare.
I have one shitty item attuned that I want to get rid of anyway, so.
Wow.
Once we're done with this, if you want the ring, it's yours.
I want the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome to it,
I
but like after this.
And it's pretty too.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a
Because
ruby ring.
we won it from Nissa, so it's a pretty ring.
Yeah, it's a lady's ring, but
No, it's not. It's a fancy arcane ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still very pretty.
It's a 2-finger ring.
it's literally a lady's ring. I don't mean like it's a girly ring. I mean it's a ring that we got from a lady.
Actually, is she knighted? Technically, she's knighted. Yeah.
Well, but she
Oh,
is
she is a
female, so
lady.
she's a lady.
Yeah, she's a knight. Yeah.
Like,
She is technically a lady.
But yeah. Okay.
That you
cool.
won in honest bet, where in honest bet the other contenders were long gone in.
Yep. Next time, don't polymorph the barbarian. That's the moral of the story.
Now she's turning into something else.
She
Cockroach.
turned- that was the rage kitten, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was where Rage Kitten was born.
You're welcome.
Technical
Thank you.
question.
It's the best thing ever.
The counter spell, if it's higher than level 3 spells, it has to counter. You have to roll with your ability.
Ability score. It's yours.
No,
It's not Ulan's. It's yours. Because you're the caster.
Well, you have to roll.
Yeah.
For it.
No, because out of the ring, I cast it.
Nope. It's from the
It says
user's
you-
perspective.
It says you can cast it from the ring.
You cast it using the.
You use it casting the person that cast it in there.
So
'Cause
you
otherwise it
also
gets-
have to use intelligence for the chromatic orb.
Using yours,
But it
Seraphina's.
would be Seraphina's intelligence. Because you cast the spell into the ring.
Yeah, it would be mine, which is a +4. So
So, yeah.
I think it's more of like
These balls will be magnificent.
Yes.
So yeah, 2 chromatic orbs and 1 counter spell.
Yes.
Alright.
coming right up.
Coming
Ca-
right up. It
Counter
makes us try
spell
for
is
spellcasting.
a 3rd level spell.
Yeah. And then the 2 chromatic orbs are 1 level, so that's
Yes.
5.
Alright,
Yeah.
so you.
It's more so
those-
you know that anything that's 3rd level and lower you can counter spell right away.
Okay.
Where everything above you have to roll for.
I'll say.
That's fine. I
Um,
won't necessarily know if it's a counterspellable thing anyway, but still.
Yeah.
I'll just do it if it seems dangerous.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's a smart thing.
See how that goes.
Yeah, the chromatic orb technically has a material component, but it doesn't matter because you're using the ring.
I
After
have
short
the material
weapons,
component.
yeah.
Wait, you use the material component to cast it into the ring, and then from the
Basically.
ring there's no material component. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a. Yeah, I was going to go in complex, and that technically you have to decide Seraphina, but no, it's fine.
Well, with the chromatic orb, like it would be thunder anyway, so it makes no difference. Like
Okay.
we would have put thunder in, so
Yeah,
it'll be
because
fine.
technically she's casting it into the ring, so yeah, it'll be thunder.
Yeah.
Alright, so you technically have 2 thunder chromatic orbs, so you
I have
can mark it.
thunderbolts.
Yeah, thunderbolts.
You have-
Um,
dear mother of fuck.
Seraphina takes a short rest as you guys are waiting. You gain those spell slots back. And Zerbin comes back. Fully kitted out in less casual wear, more in actual leather armor, which is pretty tight to the body. Across the arms, he has wrappings, which you can see have daggers placed into the sides underneath the arms. He also has one behind each of his legs, and then he has on his back a pretty rough-sized club or mace placed on his back, and he's got a kind of a balaclava, but more scarf-like to cover his mouth.
Wait, has he come back cosplaying Splinter Cell?
Pretty much, yeah. Alright.
Awesome.
Are you ready?
I whisper to whoever's next to me. I think he has a midlife crisis.
Yeah, I love. It probably is him. He's just like the person next to you is Zerb.
And Serv is also observant, so.
Thanks for the compliment.
Oh, it wasn't common.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it was in common. Alright.
That's
But
true.
he
Aaron
doesn't
has
know
no
Welsh.
idea any of what we've said at any point.
Yeah, he doesn't like understand anything.
Oh, poor Aaron.
I'm just
You're
going
the
along
only
for the
one
ride.
who doesn't understand.
He's just like, yeah, we're doing things. Alright.
Technically, I don't even know how to prepare a stone shape.
Okay,
Technically true.
Zerb, we would have translated for Aaron. Jim.
Yeah, no, you would have translated.
So if you have a problem,
Mm.
you need to show in common, medic. All right, it's an odd word, but just say medic, and then our healer will come and find you. He doesn't understand Dwarvish.
So
Amy, like Amy here.
Alright, I thought we were doing a scouting mission though.
Or just in case. Or you could also show I need healing.
Press
I
X
need
on your
healing.
keyboard.
Or we just don't get into trouble.
Well, I
Where's
mean,
the fun in that?
That's
Wow.
the ideal solution. But I mean,
We don't go looking for trouble, but trouble comes looking for us a lot.
Well, I'll just keep my distance then, won't I?
we'll be fine. Don't worry. We'll be fine. It's you we're worried about. I mean, we've survived all kinds of stuff, but you know, we'll
We'll see.
be fine. Yeah.
Let's go to the Citadel, shall we?
Oh, are we leaving now?
He just turns around like, what did he say?
He said that he looks forward to defeating your foes for you.
That'll be funny to see. Alright.
Oh, you do not want to see Aaron when he's pissed off.
Good
It's
God, no.
He's chuckling up the stairs again.
anyway.
Back
To the citadel.
away.
Okay, Aaron, we're going.
Where are we going?
We're going.
We're
to
going
the
out for
citadel,
lunch.
Aaron.
Mark, come on.
Okay.
It's a new restaurant.
As you guys leave out, you go back the way you came, through the archways. And again, you see the glimpses and the hushed talk of several voices coming down the hallways. And some kind of small little fingers point out, looking at you guys.
Hey guys,
Everyone
we're famous.
waves.
I wave at them.
Yeah, I wave as well.
Technically.
You don't
Actually, you're
understand
talking
me?
in common, never mind.
I love the fact that Aaron can just do shitty commentary the entire thing and the
Yeah.
guy will not know.
Although he does say, you guys have become kind of famous down here. Lots of people haven't seen surfaces. Ever. It's a nice surprise for them all.
Are there any red-headed Durga?
No.
Okay. Elon's not interested.
And we have
White.
friendly surfaces.
Surfaces all the same.
No, we're really not.
No,
Down here you are. Lead you out at the
Fair
front.
enough.
pretty special, to be honest.
He looks at the two the guardsmen that you guys had previously seen. Says something again in this guttural voice. Who they both nod and lower their spears. You guys follow behind as he leads back out the same channel that you guys previously came in. Which again you kind of have to squat down to get through. As he leads you back out the front entrance. And the cold air once again, or cooler at least, and the darkness. That was the obsidian fields that you previously came through. You still have dark vision, so you guys are all still fine, as you can dimly see what's happening. Alright, we'll be going along the walls until we reach the plains, as you would call them. More rock fields, really. There isn't much life. And then we'll make our way to the chasm on the west side. There shouldn't be too much problems for us. Sound good?
Sounds good.
What's he saying?
Alright.
He says we're nearly there, Aaron.
Oh, that's good. My feet are killing me.
He's complimenting you on your hair as well.
It's been 2 minutes.
And without word, he begins walking alongside the cavern's wall that you guys just came out of. Not stealthing at all, just heading out in the direction with a kind of a brisk pace. You'll begin following, I imagine.
Ulan's muttering under his breath, obviously.
Okay.
He's having like a really interesting conversation with himself.
Aaron is listening in and sometimes trying to chip in.
It's draconic.
Ulan is making conversation.
You just,
Damn it.
you just hear him barks.
Huh? Oh.
As you guys are heading in that direction, Ulan and Savant, you guys are listening out. You hear another one of those tremors. Actually, probably two actually at this point. Actually, one would have been inside, and the other one as you came out. As you're traveling forwards, you can see just off in the distance to your left. You can see the forest once again, and the very hue glow of the turquoise coming from it. As you're heading through, the obsidian goes away, and a more natural rock field begins to form around you. You can't tell what color, obviously, because there's no light, but it is less hazardous and a lot more traversable. You can actually see some parts have actually been carved. You're not sure if it's by actual wear or from like tools or anything, but you can definitely see there's been a worn path that's been created. As you head through it, yeah, all of you can give me perception checks as you're heading. Let's do some rolls.
I had my character sheet open.
Ooh.
Miracle of miracles.
Aaron is on point. Yeah, perception. Am I missing someone? Yes, sir. Okay, sweet.
Technically standing here.
Technically standing up, but whatever.
Wow.
Wow.
I see how it is.
Yeah. It makes things so much simpler. As you guys are walking, Seraphina, Infamor, and Aaron, you guys, you don't really see anything. You do hear. Oh right, there is a giant wall following you guys. Completely forgot about that.
He rolled a second roll because it wasn't responding, and now it's comes through. So on the first one counts for him.
Oh, yeah, it's only sight he has advantage, right? Or is it hearing? I think it's both. I wonder.
Giant.
No, it's smell. Smell he has advantage on.
It might also be hearing.
Could be. What big ears you have.
Who got the red cloak?
Well, it's definitely not Ulan.
I have a cape.
Is it red though?
I don't know.
If it's the mountebank, yes.
Okay. Yep.
Oh god, you've got that. You never use it.
Never use it.
I used it.
When?
I saved your
When?
asses.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did.
You were lost.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did use it once.
You were not there.
Oh, so you didn't save me? Okay, fine.
No,
You never use it.
Ulan was not there.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, you never use it. I've never seen you use it, Aaron.
So is it an apple's advantage or not?
I can't see it. Let me check.
It's hearing and smell.
Okay. So it is an advantage. Fair enough. So yeah, if the Moor gets it as well at the same time as Wolf, so there isn't much of a difference, but between all the walking and the movement of your armor, you guys pick up a vibration in the air. Which none of you can recognize. But it's almost like there's a buzzing or a kind of...
Is it the same buzzing as the blood-sucking bugs?
No. It's a lot more natural. Like a
dubstep wave.
well, that's unnatural. But in the qualifier, it's similar to that, yes.
Like the hum from like a power transformer or something.
Yeah, kind of like that. Just a like... which you three pick up. And an app's ears flick up as well, as you guys are travelling. There's no source. It's definitely only recently that you've heard it as you guys have been travelling. But there's no direction for it that you can sense at this point. Do you guys do anything as you guys are walking?
Aside from walking?
Okay.
I do have a question.
Walking and complaining.
Well,
And checking my hair in the mirror.
I do have a question for Zerb as we're walking.
Alright, you're probably at the
Because
front, yeah.
You said we felt the tremors, right?
Yes.
So these tremor things, what are they? Do you know? Do you know what causes them? Or...
You're asking about the cycles?
Aye.
Simple answer, no.
What's the non-simple answer?
No, I don't.
The Earth.
Alright. So it's not linked to the like did these predate the portal? The link to the Earth plane or
Yes, yes. Way before. It's our way of keeping track of things.
I'm just wondering if it's ominous as well. Or if it's just like a natural thing.
Hasn't led to anything just yet, so
Yet.
Cool.
it's been centuries. So, millennia probably, actually.
Okay,
We'll
cool.
go back.
So it's either nothing or it's something dangerous and immortal. Cool.
Do you guys always come up with the worst things?
Yes.
No, but we have this like weird deity guy that seems to come up with the worst things for us and then subject us to them. So
Oddly specific.
yeah, fate's kind of a dick. But he sounds polite, so you know, that's fine.
D, you're snorting into the mic.
Sorry. It's right there. I can't move it.
As you guys travel, Zerb begins to slow down eventually. And you can all see off into the distance the very faint spots of light that seem to be from windows or of something. That just are like stars. And the only reason you notice them in comparison to the ceiling with the magicites in the ceiling canopies, which gives off glimmers ever so slightly. These are very obviously light from inside somewhere of the hue of orange and yellow that it gives off.
Are they concentrated together in like a narrow straight up and down?
From this angle you can see the very there's a pattern to them all. They're very aligned with each other.
Okay.
But there's still very small specks.
But is it like a tall alignment or a wide alignment?
It's quite a tall alignment.
Is it the citadel, or does it look like it's a... Okay.
It's quite... Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's quite wide, but it's also quite quite tall as well.
So length and girth. Interesting.
Yes. Give me a perception check, actually, as you're looking at these.
Yeah.
See if you can figure out anything from them.
Anyone
Anyone else can if you bothered looking at the
I
lights.
hate that there are so many things side by side that begin with P.
It's like 4. Perception. Yeah. 21. Yeah. Yeah. These. They're circular. It's clear. There's definitely some that are centered, and then around each of the sides it begins to have a curve to them, which at the end become very faint. And this is obviously goes all the way down as you look.
Okay.
There's a cylindrical shape that seems to be building. As you guys travel, Zerb has slowed down to a pretty slow pace at this point and has begun to crawl behind rocks, and is not constantly but occasionally stopping and listening, and it's going to wait for you all to stop moving for a second so he can hear. Can you all of you give me perception? Not perception. Stealth checks. Not P, S. The other overused letter.
Apparently someone can do jack.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Holy crap, that's a more.
Well, are we still
Only voice crap.
That's the coffee.
We're
Yeah.
stealthing, right?
Yes.
Let me.
Open your character sheet.
Wow.
Well, I like that mine is better than Savant and Seraphina's at disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
And Seren's.
Shut up.
I'm fucking standing here muttering to myself, and I'm still more stealthy than you guys.
And Aaron.
I'm distracted.
But I'm quite frankly stealthier than mine.
That is true. The stealthiest is the one in plate armor. Good job.
No, the stealthiest is the wolf. I'm second stealthiest.
Oh yeah, Nap's 17. Wow.
I
Let me
think
do-
the wolf was taken that was a ninja without telling us.
He is a wolf, as a point of interest. Nope, the stealthiest is the NPC.
You should probably roll for Senegal as well. Just
I probably should, yeah. He is like probably like a 9.
Well, I think he's a disadvantage because of the armor.
He is. But he actually no, he doesn't have proficiency, does he?
Nope.
So it's only his dex, which is a 4. Wow. Okay, still gets a 12.
God damn it.
So you only see Zerb as he kind of stops and waits for you guys to come around a rock, which at this point isn't so bad as the obsidian fields, but there is definitely outcroppings of rocks, which looks placed. As you move through some of them, you can see that there is actual cracked rock underneath these large stones, boulders, like they've been chucked or thrown in these positions. and there's dozens of them, which makes it very easy for you guys to move through this area. And as you move through, Zerb's just waiting for you guys, and then kind of closes with an annoyed brow, looks at you guys all, just like, and then listens. And
Or
here's you guys walking.
Sun keeps turning on the ground.
It's just like, when we were doing a stealthing scout operation, I thought you would all have, well, practice.
What did he say?
Nothing.
Come on. And he begins moving forwards. And just vanishing into the darkness ahead of you guys, and you begin to follow behind. As you keep on moving, this goes on for pretty much up to 2 hours at this point. The dim flickers of light you see in the distance grow larger, so much that you can almost see where they're coming from. They're not just spots of light; they seem to be actual slits of light. Which are strange. It isn't like windows or anything. It's like closed windows, and you just have that thin slit of light coming through, like 2 open doors or something. But there's multiples of them. And as you approach, you can just hear the sound of wind once again, similar to the Titan steps that most of you had seen previously. The very faint howling of wind being dissipated to another part. Just ahead, and Zerb halts you all again and turns around. Alright, up ahead is the chasm. We're going to get close to the edge. I expect all of you to, well, make less noise if that's possible.
He says don't fall off the edge.
Oh, okay. Well, duh.
Can one of you keep an eye out for... Actually, I'll do it.
Wait, finish the statement. We've got some good eyes in our group.
I'll keep an eye on the front gate. You do your looking and analyzing, whatever, on the fortress.
Alright.
Should we take out the gliders now? No?
Not yet, we're not going down yet, we're just looking.
Okay.
And then we'll decide what to do when we've seen.
Alright. I'm gonna head that way. If you keep on going along these rocks, you'll find the edge. It's very dark.
So which way is he going?
He's gonna head slightly east, to be on the side of you, so he can look towards the gatehouse.
In common, I say, do we trust him to go on his own? Or should one of us go with him?
I was wondering that myself. Darren, you can probably see the best out of all of us, right? Do you want to
Usually.
go have a shifty at this early warning system, the thing that summons the worm?
Yeah, I'll go with him.
If one more, you should be enough to be able to see down to the steps. See the second step at least, or the first at least.
Well, most of us have the same level of dark vision, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
it-
only mine that's a
So
little bit
yes,
further.
yours is exceptional.
No, even more. He's a drow, remember?
Yeah, I got 120 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I said. Even more should be enough.
There's also light coming from the citadel, so.
Well, they're coming from the citadel itself. There's no light, seems to be. Well, we haven't seen yet, actually. All right. So he kind of just waits and he's like, just nods at you, Elan. Just like, all right, go ahead.
Seraphina's gonna accompany you.
Who?
Just not Seren, sorry, the dwarf lady. Just in case she recognizes anything useful to us from the gatehouse on the moon bridge.
I doubt it, but all right. I guess it's worth having a look as well. Come on then.
All right.
And he begins heading through the rocks. And what was your stuff again? 10? Okay.
10.
All right.
It wasn't a failure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ish.
So the two dwarves vanish as they disappear behind a couple of rocks. You can still kind of hear Seren's armor as she travels, but they disappear behind the rocks and leave you guys to head in a different direction.
And we will head in the indicated direction.
Alright. It isn't so much as maybe 5 minutes that you guys reach the precipice of just a drop. There isn't any signs, it's just a drop into the rock. Who's going to go to the edge?
Ulan will go to the edge first.
Okay. All of you can see as this kind of clears up a little bit from the rock fallings. But all of you can see the citadel in the distance at this point of these very thin slits of light that continue all the way down until it reaches pretty much horizontal with you, and then it keeps on going down and just going down and down and down and down, and then flickers out as at Ithamor's vision, and then darkness. And beyond that, black, void. It's like you're looking at pure blackness. And all you hear is the faint sounds of wind that seem to be travelling down. Actually, travelling up.
Okay.
Yeah, going up.
Can we see, like, the bridges that we spoke about?
You can see one of them. You can see the main one as you look across to the east. As he said...
It's over to the right, D. Of the map.
Okay.
Yes, because you guys are on the west side. You guys are on the west side of the map currently, at the bottom.
No, she's still looking at the ruins battle map. It's
oh. Yeah,
like a
go
white
across.
square with it in.
And you can see the bridge, which is pretty well made. Looks like it's made of some type of stone material and reinforced with, it seems to be beams underneath it, which attach to the cliff wall and the structure of the citadel and spans across. It also seems to have coverings as well that cover it in this brick formation of archways that goes all the way along, which is also not lit. You can just see in the distance the shape of something on the edge of the cliff. The citadel itself, however, is aptly named the Black Thorn, a pretty much spike in the ground of black. You're not sure what type of material, but it is definitely of something of obsidian in colour. The only thing that gives it any light is these thin slits that seem to illuminate either rooms or chambers or something across all the walls. Its width is what you expected of a castle or citadel. Probably around 500, 600 feet in diameter. Its drop, however, is significant, as its drop seems to just go into blackness, into infinity. It does seem, though, however, that it does get smaller, as it seems to have concentric circles as you look further and further down. And Ithamor can just make out that there is a second bridge on the outskirts of his vision. The only reason you can see it is because of the illumination coming from the citadel itself, of the bridge itself, which is further than 120 feet. It's closer to around 200. Of another similar bridge, which looks through Ithamore to be about the same sort of thickness of a pencil at this distance. Below. And then beyond that darkness. And there is no noise coming from the citadel. The only sound you can all hear is yourselves and the breathing. The breathing of the wind, I guess, which seems to also be intermittent. Of just a whoosh.
Nice and airy.
So the next bridge is 200 feet down, you said?
Yes.
And it's like further round the circle?
It definitely doesn't seem to be directly underneath the same bridge. It definitely has its own angle coming out of the citadel.
Are we able to make it around the edge of the citadel, edge of the chasm to
The other side?
well, to over where the other bridge is? So
Yes.
that we were, so that the lower bridge is directly below us. Is it?
Yeah, I'll quickly draw out. I'll do it in a darker colour. Let's do it in pop purple. It'll be pretty close to about here.
Okay. And we can get to there on the sort of
Yeah, you guys are currently roughly here. That little dot. There's also
Oh, that little bit. Okay.
yes, that little dot. Zeb did say, however, there are other bridges, so it's probably more than just this one somewhere. But at this point, none of you can see it,
Possibly on the other side or whatever. Yeah.
or below. It is beyond your dark vision at this point.
Savant hands Iframore the scope and see. Take a look and see if you can see anything at least. Even the slightest light of anything.
Thank you. I look through it and I look around see if I can see any of the bridges or anything.
Was that a question?
Yeah, he's looking through Savant's scope.
So see if I can see any other bridges or anything
You see
else.
blackness. It increases your vision, but it doesn't increase your dark vision.
Well, it was more if it maybe is to see like something that would be very hard to see from a distance. It's like the offshoot of like from like the bar gates would be like from
You can see the same bridge closer. That you can definitely do. You can't see any further than that, as there's no light. But you can see that one bridge a little clearer. It's in design the same as the main bridge at the top. However, looking through the scope, give me a perception check actually, if the more. Technically, you have advantage because you're using the scope. Ooh. All right. 11. Yeah, it's about the same. You can see that it's definitely not being maintained. That is the important difference you can tell. There is no archways in design. There is columns that are sticking up from the bridge itself, but most of them have either been collapsed, and you can see rubble scattered across the entirety of the bridge, going all the way towards the citadel.
Any guards or anything?
What do you know, 11? Yeah, you can definitely see there is two shapes by a gateway. You're not sure. It looks like there is an archway. You can't tell what's in it, but there is no light around it. So you just see these shadows.
It looks like there's two guards, or at least two people or golems down there. so we're gonna have to be careful if we do go that way. It also looks like there's loads of columns which may make landing with our gliders a bit difficult. Maybe we get closer and scale quick down to it. We should have enough rope for that. 3 nets.
There's a
Possibly, but
possi-
we'll also be exposed on the cliff when we do that.
Yeah, that is a problem.
So,
I have
Unless
no
we're
idea.
invisible.
Well, but how long will it take us to climb down 200 feet? And will an invisibility spell last that long?
Even more, keep
Um,
keep a careful eye on the gods. Maybe we can figure out how long they're staying there, and how, if you can, try to discern if they seem to be slacking off. I know it may be hard, but it may be useful to see how heavily defended it would be.
It's not clear enough to really tell. And the thing is, if they're golems, they're not going to slack off or have a change of shift. I may be mistaken, but I don't think they need to rest, do they?
golems don't.
Well, it would be helpful if you can see if they do slight movements. That may discern if they're golems or durable.
It's a long way away. I don't know if that's even going to be visible.
No, I need to get closer to be able to see.
And
Okay.
Ithamar, you know as a paladin and someone who's been around King's Arch, guards can stay in place for a long time. You've heard of several paladins from the Order taking shifts of 10 hours, 12 hours. While you guys are going through this, Seren, you
Yes.
move across to the east, not far away. Again, only about five minutes of stalking through some of these boulders again. Some of them cracked, shattered, and scattered across the surface of the floor. And as you're moving with Zerb, you begin to see the tower. Well, you can see the citadel very clearly to your side, but ahead, it's relatively small from this distance, but you have a pretty clear sight of it. It is partially lit once again from the inside. There's no outside light to it at all. There is this glimmer of light coming from 2 windows. One pretty low to the ground, close to the gateway itself. Another one quite high up in comparison, about 4 stories up.
Okay, but no other windows?
No other windows that are
And
lit
how
at least.
roughly tall it is?
Is
Is it? Wow, my English.
from this distance, give me a perception check, because you're still pretty far from it.
Yeah, only because you said there was basically a window on the first floor, window on the 4th floor, but
Yeah.
how many more floors?
Mm. Okay, yeah. Even through this pretty much darkness, especially at this distance, there is dim light, ambient dim light, just coming from some of the stones in the ceiling and the ones coming from these windows. You can very briefly see the shape of the structure itself, and it seems to be about 5 stories high.
Okay.
It's not very wide either. You can definitely tell, yeah, it's a gatehouse. It's got a large enough for probably 2 gates in its width.
Okay.
Probably has a central chamber, and that's about it.
Okay. So sort of like a lighthouse in structure. But
Yeah,
with gates in
it
the base.
does look square though, or
Okay.
cuboid. Sorry,
Okay. So, okay.
in
All right.
comparison.
Are there guards outside that I can see?
Not outside, no. You would have to get closer, because at this point you're well over 400 feet away, probably around 500.
Okay.
Yeah. And Zerb just sit behind a rock and just keep him watch.
Are there normally no guards outside?
Why would they have to be outside?
I don't know. Makes sense.
If there are, they keep watch from inside.
Yeah.
As I said, you don't want to be outside.
Well,
That's where things can see you.
yeah. True. At least I can hit those things.
As you're just kind of watching, give me another perception check. Alright. As you're looking across, you kind of just glimpse across a little bit to the left, a little more across the rocky ground, and there's a clearing. It's a pretty large clearing. It's well over like a. There is no shape to it really. If anything, it's like a 200 by 200 size kind of just field of clear land.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clearish, apart from 6 mounds, and they're not piles, they're mounds, and so you can very clearly see this is earth or something else that's can have a curved shape to it. There's no jagged edges to it at all.
And that's unusual down here.
Yes, moved earth is hard to come by, especially how rocky the terrain is. And these 6 piles,
I wonder.
they're not so much uniform, but there is a pattern to them.
A pattern to the 6 mounds, or a pattern to each individual mound, like.
To the 6 mounds. There is definitely a connection to them all. What did you roll? 15? Yeah, you can definitely tell it's more than just earth in these piles, but that's about it. Especially within this distance.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely no guards anywhere. The only thing you can see is this field with these 6 mounds. The mounds themselves, they're from this distance, you imagine they're quite large, at least probably 10 feet high.
Would that fit what I know with the golem?
Um,
The golems?
You haven't really. Well, actually, no. You might have seen a golem. Actually, give me a history check. Yeah, history or arcana, either one.
Well, they're both a -1, so.
Four. No. Yeah, dwarves don't really deal in golems. You've heard about golems, like they're a thing. Actually, well, you've seen a type of golem. You've seen a flesh golem, and that was pretty tall. That was like 10 feet tall.
Okay.
So.
I'll nod towards the clearing, and mention to Zerb that I think those might be guard golems. Probably earth.
What? I can't see.
Oh. There's a clearing about 200 feet across or so.
Alright.
6 large mounds, about 10 feet high. That way. You don't find moved dirt down here ever. That's unusual. So, I suspect it might be golems. In which case, if you've got 6 of those out here, why would you need anyone else?
That could be a few things. Golems, it could be, yes. Though, I need a better look.
It
No.
could be worm sign D.
Walk with uneven steps.
We should see what your friends are doing.
There's a weird pattern to them too.
I don't like him.
Well, I don't either, but
He moves away from the rock and moves towards the cliff edge where he pointed out to everyone else to go to.
okay.
Yeah, you guys regroup as Saren and Zubin arrive. See anything you like?
Yeah, well, there's a bridge down there.
Told you.
It's a long way down.
Told you that
It
as well.
appears to be guarded. We can't tell if they're people or golems, but
How far away is it? Can I tell?
Yeah, you can see.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, no.
Well, you can still see. You can't see any much detail. You see, Ithamor's still looking through the scope. Actually, Ithamor, are you looking still through the scope?
Yeah, might as well. There's nothing else to do.
Okay, yeah. Nope, haven't moved a single inch. And Saren,
have they moved multiple inches?
what?
You said not a single inch.
Yeah,
Does-
they may move 2 or 3 inches.
7. They move in 7s.
42.
Always.
Always. But you can definitely see this bridge below, which is like 200 feet down. And from what you can tell, like it's a bridge, yeah. And you can definitely see there is 2 shadows, but you're not sure what they are.
Alright.
As you guys are thinking, I think we'll take a break and then come back to whatever you plan to do next.